How to clear the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure certifications. So in the recent time, I took up the OCI certification, the Cloud Infrastructure certification. I just wanted to give you some highlights as how I cleared those exams. So I have cleared close to 8 exams. That is Foundation Associates, the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Architect Associate, Operation Associate, and then of course the biggest one is of course the Professional. And apart from that, I also hold Specialist Autonomous DB Certificate and Machine Learning, which is a new addition. It was introduced only in recent times, 2021. The Developer Associate, and then Cloud Infrastructure Security. This is also a new one which was introduced in 2021. So 2 new ones, that is the Machine Learning and Infrastructure Security is the new one, and all the rest are maybe a few years old, and they are revising it each year, each passing year. They used to revise the certification as well, because they also add new contents to it. And validity Oracle claims is about 1 year, 1.5 years, compared to others like Amazon or Google gives you about 3 years, whereas Oracle has about approximately 1.5 years, and then you need to go for a recertification. A point to note here is, yes, the practical knowledge is very important. I started working on the cloud-based infrastructure way back in 2018, 2019 is what I started looking at, even though I had knowledge, but I started exploring them in 2019 onwards. Started with the Google, and then tried out Azure as well, and Oracle I started exploring in 2020 when they started using a free tier. Free tier meaning with a free tier, it's always free tier. You have 2 compute instance. You can have compute instance in the sense you can have to create your own Linux virtual machine. You can also have autonomous Oracle autonomous database. 2 of them is free. So that means if you want to learn all about Oracle database, I would highly recommend you to probably go for a free tier with Oracle Cloud. You can learn all about autonomous database. You can create them. You can not only create, you can also learn SQL database designs, and even machine learning as well. Database based machine learning using the Oracle Cloud. So let me tell you how I started. Though I had the practical knowledge, one of the advantage of going through the certification is that because the certification topics are going to be vast, you need to learn the entire length and breadth of it, because when you get it just a practical experience, you will focus only on a small part of it based on the requirement. Probably you might be based on the work situation, you need to probably so based on the requirement, probably you might need to create a compute instance. So you'll be focusing on that. Yes, then you ignore probably what is there in the autonomous database, or all about the security features you might ignore, and probably that is security feature like the access management, the policies, those are taken care by security guys, so you might ignore that. But whereas when you go for the certification, you need to look out for have expertise in all of the topics. That is where the certification plays a major role to understand all of the offerings of the cloud. So the way I started is I started off with the foundation. It's a simple one, even for if you're a non-technical guy, no issues. You can still go for a foundation wherein you can understand what is being offered. It's not a deep dive, so non-technical guys can also take the foundation associate, and then once post that is what I took the infrastructure architect and the cloud operations. So there are few overlapping topics. In fact, the difference I found out was the command line, how to use the command line in the cloud, and that is the automation tools, and the Terraform as well. Oracle Cloud has built-in Terraform, which is known as the stack. So those topics are different. Otherwise, there are many overlapping topics between the infrastructure architect as well as the cloud operation. The major difference is on the command line as well as the Terraform. So these two took about approximately 2 months of focused effort to get all these certifications clear. And once I completed that, I took up the database specialist, which is all about the autonomous database. This is autonomous database. Oracle database, the 19c is unique for Oracle Cloud. In fact, all the other cloud operators, be it Amazon, be it Azure, of course Azure has SQL, whereas Oracle has the Oracle database. If you look at the relational database, majority of them still is on Oracle database. And the next comes the Microsoft SQL, which is on the Azure. All other database are the recent additions. So if you want to still look out for the database opportunities, if you're a database consultant, then I would highly recommend to go into the Oracle database specialist certification. And then I cleared this one, the infrastructure architect. So infrastructure architect is a combination, or it combines it has topics across all of them, like the architect associate, then database specialist. It includes all the topics. So it's kind of a big game, or a big you need to look at the big picture, and even the exams is for 2 hours compared to 90 minutes, 1.5 hours for the rest of the certification topics. So this again took about a month's time to complete when you do a focused attempt. So 1 to 2 months it will take. And post that, I took up the others as well. Machine learning, which is an offset from autonomous database, which is built on, there is a uniqueness. It's on the database side. We can use Python, and on the Oracle Autonomous Database to learn about machine learning. This is a recent one. And then I took up infrastructure developer, which is all about the microservices, and cloud and microservices is now cannot be separated. That is where is all the uniqueness is all about. So I took up the cloud infrastructure developer, and finally I closed up with the infrastructure security as well. So these two, that is machine learning as well as Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Security, is a recent addition in the Oracle Cloud certification. So in all, I have completed about 8 certification. So this is where it could interest you, how to prepare for these certifications. I'm also PMP certified. These being so the cloud certifications being the recent one compared to the other certification like PMP, which is Project Management Professional, which is a old certification for the project management. A lot of information available in the web. In fact, there are a lot of mock test also there with PMP, which is very important. Mock test. Okay, I mean, going through the material content is important, but again, mock test is also important, and you'll hardly find mock test for the Oracle Cloud certification. So in fact, I had put effort in creating the mock test or the mock exam. So why mock exams are important? So the point is what to expect on the certification standpoint. Though you would have prepared content wise, but you need to understand what type of questions is going to come across, whether it's multiple choice or multiple select, and the construct of the question itself. So that is where as a certified professional, I have put effort in creating the mock test. So this will also help you to analyze your preparation, understand how you could perform. So based on the mock test, because you are going to spend $150 to $250 for the exam, but this mock test will not just fraction of it will cost. So this will gauge your preparation as well. So how to manage time efficiently, because all this is going to have about 55 to 60 questions. So in that case, with less than about 90 minutes, that is about roughly about two minutes. You need to understand the questions and then eliminate the distractors and choose the right answer. So that is where the mock test is going to help you and reduce your pre-exam nervousness and know which are the topics you are confident and which are the topic you need to focus. So that is where mock test would help you. So I have created mock test on almost 6 different topics. You can check the links to know which is to check what are the mock tests available on. So in a way, it is very important. Apart from going through the content and practicing, it's always better you take up a couple of mock tests so that you can gain confidence in clearing the actual exam. So if you have any queries, you can post a comment. I will try to respond back. Thanks. Cheers.